The current review is informed primarily by the need to further promote the ease of doing business in Nigeria, in line with the Executive Order number 1. Attention has been focused principally on measures to ensure drastic reduction in time spent on processing of exports and also ensure 24 hours clearance of cargoes imported into Nigeria. This is in order to promote formal trade and block loopholes for leakage of revenue accruable to the government. In the course of the review exercise, the two committees made commendable efforts to chart the course of the review exercise. And in an attempt to do that, efforts are being made to remove all identified physical and administrative bottlenecks based on the past experiences and lessons. The expectation is that the exporters and importers will take advantage of the enabling business environment being created by the present government to engage in formal trade, expand the volume of exports without flouting the best practices. I would like to draw your attention to some measures that the present government has introduced to facilitate trading across Nigerian borders. These include: 1, reduction of documentation requirements from 10 to 7 for exports and from 14 to 8 for imports. Also, additional responsibilities have been given to the Nigerian Customs Service, Nigerian Ports Authority, and shipping lines stroke other carriers. In addition, sanctions have been introduced to enforce compliance. The additional responsibilities we wish to know are as follows. For the Nigerian Customs Service, they are expected to coordinate the mandatory joint examination and sign-off form within the official working hours, including Saturdays. The service is also expected to make available the shipping manifest to other examination agencies as soon as they are received to enable enough time for risk assessment. And the third one, and not the least, Nigeria Integrated Customs Information System, NICIS, should be strengthened to accommodate more agencies. For the shipping lines and other carriers, they are expected, 1, to transmit to the NCS and Nigeria Ports Authority, NPA, the cargo manifest before leaving the last port of call to Nigeria. And secondly, shipping lines shall ensure that Nigerian bound containerized cargo are palletized. In addition, a new section H has been introduced, which states the responsibilities of the Nigeria Port Authority, NPA. NPA shall receive cargo manifest from shipping lines before the ship leaves the last port of call and circulate to other regulatory agencies for risk assessment and profiling. NPA shall also be responsible for traffic management of vessels and at the same time shall ensure pilotage of vessels. The sanctions introduced with respect to exports is to ensure timely payment of net levy and repatriation of export proceeds within the prescribed period. This is to forestall sharp practices by banks as well as compelled the government-appointed pre-shipment inspection agents to ensure timely scheduling of inspection and issuance of clean certificate of inspection, otherwise known as CCI. Regular monthly reporting, confirmation of proper documentation of exports by the exporters, and forestall export of substandard goods from Nigeria. I would like to mention here now that the present government's efforts towards ensuring ease of business have started yielding dividends in some areas, though much still has to be done in other areas. In the recent World Bank's report, as the information has already been provided by the reform leader of ABIS, has moved up 24 points from 169th position on 2017 ranking to 145 position. This is out of 190 countries in the Ease of Doing Business Index for 2018. However, as regards trading across borders, Nigeria has actually declined from 181st to 183rd position. This is an indication that we must double up to do the needful as patriotic citizens in order to improve the situation. So from all indications, the importance of implementing the guidelines to the letter is not in doubt. However, where it becomes absolutely necessary to make some adjustments in order to further facilitate trade in the interest of Nigeria as a nation, appropriate action will be taken. It should be noted that the implementation of the following measures will not be compromised. We have 7. Processing of Nigerian export proceeds, that's the NXP forms, by the authorized dealers bank, ADBs, within 48 hours of submission by the exporters. Transmission of the processed NXP by the ADBs to the exporters within 24 hours. Thirdly, forwarding of the processed NXP forms to the pre-shipment inspection agents, that's the PIAs, by the ADBs within 3 days of receipt from exporters. The lifespan of the NXP form is 6 months. Please take note, after which it can be extended by 90 days. Further extension is subject to the approval of the Trade and Exchange Department of the CBN. PIAs must also schedule inspection within 48 hours of receipt of NXP form and issue clean certificate of inspection within 72 hours post-inspection. 6. The lifespan of the NXP form, like I said earlier, is 6 months, after which it can be extended by 90 days. Then the PIA must maintain a functional interactive website which should enable online scheduling of inspection and processing of any relevant export documents. So from the foregoing, it is explicit that the exporters, the ADBs, and PIAs have critical roles to play for the achievement of facilitating trading across borders. Furthermore, in order to ensure quick clearance of imports at the Nigerian ports and borders, the additional responsibilities assigned to the relevant government agencies will be carried out in a well-coordinated and collaborative manner, while the sanctions specified for non-compliance with the provisions of the guidelines will be strictly and impartially applied across board. Let me add that government is working relentlessly to quickly put in order the scanning system so as to eliminate manual examination of goods and the associated delays. So the guidelines had since April of this year been circulated to the relevant MDAs for onward transmission to other stakeholders under their respective jurisdiction. They were also downloaded onto the ministry's website for the information of the trading public. The plan was for this workshop to have taken place earlier than today to enable us allow a 3-month grace period before full implementation of the guidelines. This is especially in recognition of the time lag that might be required for the commencement of a full implementation of the government policy on mandatory palletization of all containerized cargo imported into Nigeria. However, owing to some unforeseen circumstances, the actualization of the plan was not possible. All the same, it is certain that every stakeholder is fully aware of the policy, and this workshop is meant to formally present the guidelines and collate all observations and comments with a view to taking appropriate action. After due consultations, you may wish to know, with the relevant key stakeholders, the MDAs, the effective date for full implementation of the guidelines was agreed upon, taking into account the need to give allowance for imports already prepared for shipment into Nigeria. On this note, I wish to announce that the export and import guidelines will be fully implemented effective 1st of January 2018. However, goods already loaded for shipment to Nigeria prior to this date will not be affected by the palletization policy. Let me also say that we have examined all concerns expressed by the trading public regarding the palletization policy of government. The list of categories of goods that may be exempted from palletization, where it is absolutely necessary, will be placed on the website of the Federal Ministry of Finance, and as well as that of Nigeria Customs Service shortly. Finally, let me seize this opportunity to call on all stakeholders in the import and export trade value chains to study the guidelines and play their respective roles effectively. Let us show mutual understanding, as all hands are expected to be on deck to promote formal trading across the Nigerian borders. The guidelines may not be perfect to address all concerns, but government will monitor its implementation closely to address emerging hiccups and unforeseen situations.